Hi, I'm sitting here in the yurt here backstage with the Daara family who have already performed today. Guys, what did you think? Did you have a good time?
Yeah, we've had a great time, and the audience was just gorgeous.
Berserk.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Now, I asked you this before, but just for the audience, is this your first time to Tassie?
Yes, it's our first time in Tasmania, and not the first one in OC, because we've been here like 5 years ago, and now we're just back here to get in touch, to get back in touch with our people, you know, and I think a love story is really on the way. Our love story with Australia is really on the way. Yeah.
So I'm assuming you don't have much time here in Tasmania, but you think you'll be back one day?
Yeah, we'll be back for sure, and I will say Senegal is, we used to say Senegal is the land of teranga, a land of hospitality, and I can feel that in OC. I can feel, the hospitality from Australia.
People are really free, and wide open to receive new cultures, and I think that's the very important, part of it. We could feel that people wanted to exchange, cultures, and that's exactly what we're here for. We're here for in order to, intermingle our cultures.
Fantastic. Now, you mentioned Senegal. Tell us a little bit about where you're from in Senegal.
Yeah, we're from the capital, Dakar, and Senegal is in the western part of Africa, and you can find Mauritania in the north of Senegal, Mali in the west, and the sea, Atlantic Sea, in the west, and in the south you have the two Guinea, and Senegal is like like the nose of the map, and Father Freddy and me, we both from area like Colobane and Allée du Centenaire.
Okay, let's go back early, very early in your career. What made you want to record and make music? Were there any particular influences back early in your lives in Senegal?
It's the vibe that we used to have from there. In Senegal, music is all natural. It's a part of our lifestyle. Every day you wake up, you hear music. Sometimes when people finish eating, because we eat all around the same bowl, and just when we finish eating, sometimes we just flip the bowl, over, and we start, drumming, on the bowl, and it's just to show that music is a part of our life, and it's so natural there that it's easy being involved in the musical career in Senegal, and I think if we now want to take our music further, that's because we have our elders like Youssou N'Dour, Baba Mal, Miriam Makeba, Fela Kuti, who applied a lot of influences over ourselves, and now we're taking all that heritage to build like a modern music called Afro Hop. And we were here to show people what is Afro Hop. Afro Hop is a combination of Afro music and hip hop music. Yes.
Oh, great. You sure showed them today. Now, reading a few articles online, it seems throughout your history you've been vocal politically and socially in Senegal. Are you still concerned with what's going on there at the moment? I'm not sure what's going on politically, but is it still a concern?
Yeah, of course. We still, we're still fighting. We're still fighting for the people, because unfortunately Africa is, is down of the politics. The politics, they lead the people, and sometimes we don't feel them. We don't feel the politics because Africa is needs economic development, and our real fight is for the people, and we still concerned in our music, in our lyrics. We still talk about social living. We still talk about the real life, the life of Africans.
Yeah. Sure. Now, you've suggested, I guess especially with your album titled Boomerang, that rap music certainly had its roots in Africa through the verbal technique. Is it tasu? Tasu. Can you explain a little more what tasu is for me?
Yeah, tasu used to be the ancient form of rap music, And in our theory, in our theory, Tasu got involved in the slave ships to go and grow in America to become today hip hop music. And originally, Tasu is like the last poets used to do. You have the drums hidden, and then you have the poet with some rhapsodic flows, getting involved, on the drums, and it's still going on in Senegal. But nowadays, it's more the women that incarnate that that rap style, and but it's not Tasu. It's not only Tasu. You have as well Baku, which is more ego tripping. And Kebetu, which is more like what Busta Rhymes is doing nowadays with that fast flow. And if you go down to Senegal, you're gonna see that all the ancient forms of hip hop music are well preserved. Yeah, and I think that's really interesting to get down there and see what's going on. And sometimes we even incarnate it on the stage to see people. For example, in the song Boomerang, we have in the beginning a very fast style, fast flowing. That's to show how it all started. How hip hop music. So its birth in Africa.
Great. Being so separated here in Tasmania from the rest of the world, it's hard to know the health and vibrancy of the African hip hop scene. Is there a lot of good music and indeed hip hop coming off the streets of Africa at the moment?
Yeah, we have a new album called School of Life, and it's a real pleasure for us, to introduce African hip hop via the album School of Life. And the people, they can get it via internet. They can get School of Life, Daara family album. And for us, it's like it was a big moment. The show was a big moment to make connection between Australia and Africa. And this is how it should be. Africa is definitely it's our time now. Because we used to hear American hip hop, European hip hop, in television, and now I think it's our moment. And if you listen School of Life, you can hear what we talk about.
Obviously, you've been successful in coming over here. Is it still hard though for some other African acts to make an imprint into the Western world, do you find?
Yeah, it's kind of different because the culture itself is not so well developed in Africa because it's been so naturalized that the government don't really pay attention about the artists. They don't pay attention. They don't care really about the artists. And unfortunately, you have a lot of artists because of problems like piracy and all that, dying slowly. And that's why, oppositely to all these youth that massively want to, go abroad, at the risk of their life, because a lot of people are even taking boats to go to Europe and all that because they've been dreaming of the rest of the world. Our aim now is to develop the African dream and to make people see that as Africans coming from the deepest roots of Africa, you can just make it by just trying to, work hard in music, and then people one day would call you just to listen to your new tracks, and that's how it goes down. And I think now a lot of youth are understanding that you can stay at home and do good stuff instead of depending on the government, because I'm sorry to say that, but the government is doing shit for us. And that's why sometimes we even denounce all the corruption, all the embezzlement that's going on, because there are a lot. Now people are more like, in the government it's more like a lobby. There are a lot of corruption going on. It's like, it's just a small amount of people who are free to do whatever they want in the country, and the other part is like, marginalized. Unfortunately, it used to be like that because in Africa, when you are a president, you become president for life. President of one day means you're president for life. It means that you can't just help yourself in people's fortune, unfortunately. And we're here for the change. and the government knows that, and that's why, you know, they're scared to deal with rappers like us. But you know, I think hip hop music is so big, so international, that it's hard for them to knock us down. And we're gonna tell the youth to hold strong, and that with the power of the music, just like the Jamaicans did, you know, we can make it.
Sure. Well, you've kind of, I suppose, already answered this question in a way. But what's the plan for the future and in 2011 as far as touring, new music, anything in the pipeworks?
New music, new album, and we have a label in Senegal called it Bois Sacré. And in Bois Sacré, you know, we used to produce a lot of artists, a lot of youth, and maybe, you know, we're gonna plan, you know, another tour in Australia. Why not? And the next step is United States, you know, for School of Life, and Europe too. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, it's so good to have you guys down here. I hope you do come back and get to see Tasmania properly one day.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic.
I haven't seen the Tasmanian Devils yet. So if anyone got one, just bring it on so I can see it.
I'll have a look out the back for you. I don't know if we've got any there though. Thanks guys, thank you so much, and all the best for the future. Cheers.
Daara, the family Senegal.